So now let's focus on a concept of polymorphism. So polymorphism is one of the amazing concept in OOPS. Now, so when you talk about polymorphism, so poly means many and morphism means behavior. It simply means you have multiple behaviors. So polymorphism has two types. One is method overloading and method overriding. So let's first focus on overloading here. So method overloading is something like you have in the same class, you have two methods or more than two methods with the same name, but they have different argument list or they have different parameters. Now, if you have two methods with the same name but different parameters, they can also have a different return type. Okay, so they can have different return type. Let me take a pointer. So they can have a different return type, and if you change only return type, that doesn't mean you are going for overloading. Okay, and you can change the access level in any direction. So let's say if you have a method which is show and it takes only one parameter, and that show method is public. Now that doesn't mean if you have a new method called as show with different parameters, it cannot have private. So they can have any access level and you can go to any direction. So what is overloading? It's like having a same method with the same name but different parameters, or you can say different signature. Now next is overriding. So overriding is something with using which you can achieve something called as runtime polymorphism. So using overriding you can achieve runtime polymorphism, which means at the runtime your Java will know which method to execute. It's because in method overriding you have two methods with the same name but and same number of parameters, but they belong to two different classes and both these classes should be linked with inheritance. Now where we should use it? So we can use it for general class to specify methods that will be common to all its derivatives. So if you know you have lots of classes you will be using and all those classes will need some type of methods. So you can use this concept of polymorphism here. Now, you can also override the methods, and that's why you get a concept of one interface and multiple methods. So you can use the same name, but depend upon the class or depend upon the reference, it will call different methods. And that's why this concept is so important because it provides you something called a runtime polymorphism, which is very difficult to find. So if we talk about overloading, it's so first let's start with polymorphism. It has two types, overloading and overriding. So what is overloading? It is two methods or more than two methods with the same name but different number of parameters is called as overloading. So points to be remember, if you change only return type that will not work, and if you can have access level at any in any direction. Okay. And in overriding, it is like same name, same number of parameters, but in different classes. And both these classes should be linked with inheritance. So it provides you a feature which is one interface and multiple methods.